the real big players, they're not running, they're not in public offices.
No.
These guys are just on their knees in obedience to the program. The reptilians that I would like to call the Anunnaki, these guys are the extremely wealthy, the ruling class. They don't come out. They just run the show. And the people that are out there are puppets, chosen for their acting abilities. In fact, Ronald Reagan. If the world didn't get the fact that an actor played the President of the United States and heralded as the best president of all time, which quite honestly, I don't think so.
And they still tried to shoot him, which is what I don't understand.
Well, that was a setup.
Yeah, of course, but it's still a shame.
His ratings were down, so we had the little enactment come up.
I know, right.
You know, he got a little Manchurian candidate with a gun, and we set up a little shooting, and he looks out from his hospital window. Oh, great leader, I'm there. And everybody goes, oh, God, thank God. And his ratings go back up for sympathy close. Because really, you know, we humans, we're suckers for a great act.
Yeah, well, they've conditioned us with, look, theatre and TV. They've conditioned us to love the drama, the story, you know, the plot, the climax, and then the resolution. And we've been conditioned and programmed like that.
In fact, recently, the last few days ago, there was that shooting at the American military base.
I haven't heard about that. Tell us.
Yeah, there was a major who just happened to be a Muslim, who shot up, I think 3 dead and 20 wounded, right on the Fort Hood. Right on the grounds of the camp. And the general that was talking about it said, the great tragedy is that some of these boys just returned from the theater of war and ended up losing their lives on American soil. And I thought, oops, watch your language there, guy. It's pretty revealing. The theater of war. That's what they call it.
It's a play.
Uh-huh.
It's a game.
It's a play for it's kind of live video fodder. Oh, great, we could make a nice video game out of this. It's quite, without wanting to offend people whose children are losing their lives in war games. It's time for war to stop. It's really time for it just to stop. I know this sounds altruistic, but I'm tired of the whole war game concept. Why do people keep signing up to go die? I don't get this. The patriotism concept, is that really why people go do this? Truth is, a lot of boys go to war because they can't get a job. They're promised some semblance of survival. If they can make it through the death fields or the theater of war, they get some kind of stipend and they can go to college. And in some cases in the States, they can get their citizenship. Hello?
Yeah.
Huh? All you have to do is survive the potential of dying. And if you die, well, thanks a lot.
Yeah, I hear you.
I'm tired of war. I want war to stop now.
Well, it's an illusion, and we know it's all about arms deals and making money and interest on bank loans. And
it's follow the money line.
Yeah.
And speaking of that, let's talk about how much money has been made on these vaccines and Tamiflu.
Yeah, indeed. Have you had any messages recently from the Syrians that you'd like to share with us?
I'm working on a new book. It's called that's the old book, Beyond the Matrix. The new book is Before We Leave You.
Okay.
Messages from the great whales and the dolphin beings. This is a committee of beings that are on the Syrian High Council, talking about getting ready to leave the planet Earth, largely out of the abuse that they're experiencing here, which is the immense toxicity of the oceans, the sonar testing from the Navy that is blasting every ocean on this planet with unbearable frequencies to the point that they're leaping out of the water just to get away from it. These beachings of 100, 150 whales and dolphins, they say death is so much greater a joy than having to bear this pain. And so I'm not enjoying this assignment because it's difficult for me because I have a lot of emotion about this. But they're talking now about how the whales and the dolphin beings exist on many layers of consciousness and in planets in many systems, and that they weave together the sound of the sea. the sound of the planet, the sound of the galaxy, the sound of the cosmos. Without that music, the planet can't survive. So these guys, with their so-called sonar testing, to be testing, what are they testing? So they can wipe out a submarine? I think it's more diabolical than that. I think they want to reduce the frequencies of the planet. It always ties back to that discussion of Nibiru. I really think it is quite diabolical, and they want to silence the sounds of the great whales and the dolphins. And this book is what's coming now, about humanity understanding and loving these beings and protecting them, because we can't lose them. Some of them are going ahead to assist in this transition, but some of them need to be here. And we've got slaughter everywhere. We've got the Japanese putting them into lunch meat for dogs. It's got to stop. So this is something I'm going to be extremely involved in the upcoming years. Besides working with the book, besides working with them, I'll be working on creating a global unity of all these different factors that are working separately. We've got to raise human consciousness to the point where we save them. And in doing that, we're saving ourselves.
Absolutely. What do you think are the immediate challenges that we face in the near future?
I think the most immediate challenge at the moment is this vaccine stuff. I do not think they will take it to the level of a global pandemic. They threaten that, so that everybody will line up and stick out their little arms. Women with babies inside, little children, these needles.